All right, over the next few minutes, we're going to dive into a really critical shift in fire safety. We're talking about moving away from just simple alarms and into something called true decision intelligence. This is a look at Woodcock AI, a platform that's all about providing certainty when things get chaotic. So let's start with a pretty important question for anyone who's in charge of a large facility or, critical infrastructure. And that question is, are your current fire alarms actually creating more operational risk than they prevent? Now, I know that sounds a little backwards, but the data, it suggests this is a huge and very costly problem. Because the reality for so many businesses is that traditional alerts, the ones that have no context, they create this massive operational drag. We're talking about unnecessary evacuations that just kill productivity, expensive production line shutdowns, and even those reputation-damaging emergency callouts, all for threats that weren't even real. So here's how we'll break it down. We'll start by looking at the high cost of all that alarm noise. Then we'll introduce this new intelligence-based approach. We're going to peek inside the AI engine, talk about why it's so reliable, and then wrap up with how this tech is setting a whole new standard for safety. Okay, so let's get right into it. The core problem, the incredible cost of noise that comes from our traditional fire detection systems. You see, the systems that most of us have deployed today, whether they're standard detectors or even basic camera analytics, they're fundamentally passive. They're reactive. They see something that looks like smoke and bam, they trigger a generic alarm. They have absolutely no real-world context, which brings us to a really critical point. Smoke alone does not equal danger. And that right there, that's precisely the gap that Woodcock AI was built to fill. It's all about moving from simple, noisy alerts to genuine, actionable intelligence. So what is Woodcock AI? Well, think of it as a proactive intelligence platform. And the most important part, it's not about ripping and replacing your hardware. It's about upgrading its brain. It literally transforms the CCTV network you already have into this incredibly sophisticated early warning system. Now this number, 97%. This is a really big deal because it's all about making this feasible right now. The platform works with the vast majority of CCTV cameras and network video recorders that are already out there. This means you don't need a costly, disruptive overhaul of your current setup. It's an intelligence upgrade, not a hardware one. So how does the platform actually achieve this level of intelligence? Well, the secret lies in its unique triple-layer AI architecture. The best way to think about it is like a three-stage filter that's designed to give you certainty. First, it isolates any kind of visual change in the scene. Second, it classifies that change using these advanced AI models. And third, and this is the most critical step, it works to truly understand the context of what it's seeing. Every single layer cuts down the noise dramatically. Layer 1 is all about efficiency. It uses something called background subtraction to isolate visual changes before it starts doing any heavy AI processing. This is a huge advantage. It filters out all the irrelevant static, it lowers the computational load, and it makes sure that only meaningful anomalies actually get passed on to the next stage. Then in layer 2, the system brings in these highly trained smoke and fire models. Now, this isn't your basic motion detection. These models are trained to recognize the very specific characteristics of real smoke, across different lighting, different weather conditions. But, and this is so important, just because it detects something here, it doesn't automatically trigger an alarm. And that brings us to the final and honestly the game-changing layer, contextual analysis. The system uses an advanced model to get a true understanding of the scene. It figures out why there's smoke. Is it just a truck's exhaust? Is it steam coming from a pipe? Or is it a genuine fire risk? This layer gives you human-readable explanations, not just a blaring alarm. And that is the key to crushing false alarms. But look, world-class AI is totally useless if the system isn't reliable, right? And that brings us to the deployment model, what's called an edge-first architecture, and it's designed for total resilience. Just take a look at this comparison. On one side, you have cloud-dependent systems. They have a single point of failure, the internet connection. If your internet goes down, so does your safety system. Woodcock AI's edge-first model processes everything right there on site, which completely eliminates that dependency, and it solves for latency and data privacy at the exact same time. So the benefits of building it this way are crystal clear. You get continuous operation, even if the internet goes out. Decisions are made locally, which means near instant response times. And your data, it stays on your premises. For any kind of critical infrastructure or industrial site, this isn't just a nice-to-have feature. It's an absolute requirement. So when you combine this level of intelligence with this degree of reliability, what you get is a new standard in safety.
Let's just quickly summarize what makes it so different and what the ultimate outcomes are.
This table really lays it all out. As you can see, when you put it up against conventional alarms or even thermal cameras, this CCTV-based AI approach just delivers superior accuracy and much earlier detection. And what's more, it does it cost-effectively because it uses the infrastructure you already have, and it gives you immediate visual proof, so all the guesswork is gone.
So, to boil it all down, the key differentiators are these. First, it's about contextual understanding, not just raw detection. Second, it's a triple layer AI architecture, not some single brittle model. And third, it's edge first resilience, not a fragile dependency on the cloud. And what's the outcome for your organization? Well, it's earlier detection of genuine fire risks. It's far fewer unnecessary shutdowns and evacuations. It's a much, much higher level of trust in the alerts you do get. And ultimately, it means you get a higher standard of safety with way less operational disruption.
In the end, it really comes down to this one distinction. This technology represents the shift from simple detection to true decision intelligence. And that is exactly why Woodcock AI is not just another detection system. It is the next generation fire intelligence platform. It's designed not only to alert you to problems, but to give you the certainty to act decisively when it matters most.